Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRIENDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because we're diving into a huge rumor that's been swirling around the NFL lately, and it might just shake up the NFC North in a way Lions fans will love. The buzz is that the Los Angeles Chargers are reportedly open to trading one of their key defensive stars, Derwin James, and the Detroit Lions could be in the mix to land him. Now I know what you're thinking. It's just a rumor, right? But hear me out, because if this deal goes down, it could be a game-changer for Detroit's defense and their Super Bowl aspirations. Let's start by breaking down who Derwin James is, a three-time Pro Bowler, a safety who's been recognized as one of the best in the league. He's versatile, can play multiple positions in the secondary, and is known for his physicality, coverage ability, and playmaking skills. In 2025, he's been outstanding, logging 42 solo tackles, 16 assists, and 58 combined tackles, along with 15 sacks, 2 interceptions, 4 pass deflections, a forced fumble, and a PFF grade of 89.2, putting him firmly in the top tier of safeties in the NFL. His coverage grade is an astonishing 92%. EPA per target is 24, and he's a true ball hawk with 18 career interceptions and 5 touchdowns. He also has minimal injury history, having played at least 10 games in nearly every season of his career, which is huge for a team like the Lions that's always looking for consistency and health in their secondary. Now, why would the Chargers be willing to part ways with such a talented player? Well, the team currently sits at 5-4 with a points allowed average of just 22, 8 per game and a 37.2% success rate on third downs. But they're also facing cap constraints, with about $16 million in cap space and a need to free up some money to bolster their defensive line and other areas. Trading James, who's earning around $14 million this season, makes some sense from a cap perspective, especially considering their focus on bolstering their front four and other defensive assets. They're also prioritizing their defensive line, which makes sense given their third down success rate and the importance of pass rushers in today's NFL. So, what about the Lions? Well, Detroit has about $21 million in cap space and could see Derwin James as a perfect fit for their secondary, especially after the injury to safety Kerby Joseph, who's been out with a knee injury. The Lions are already a strong team, sitting at an impressive 8-2, and their secondary has been solid but could really elevate with a player of James's caliber. He'd bring leadership, versatility, and a real upgrade in coverage and run support. Pairing him with Tracy Walker and other safeties, like if they decide to bring back C.J. Gardner-Jerian or add new depth, the Lions could form one of the league's most complete secondaries. Looking at the numbers, the impact would be significant. The duo of James and Jalen Reeves-Maybin, or whoever lines up next to him, would reduce opposing yards per pass down from around 7-0 to closer to 5-9. That's a huge jump in pass defense efficiency. Plus, the expected points added, EPA, in coverage would jump by about 24%, and interceptions could see a boost of around 9 projected turnovers. Opposing teams, yards per carry would drop by about 3.5 yards, and the percentage of red zone touchdowns allowed would decrease from 52% down to roughly 40%. That's a game changer for a defense that's already performing well but has room to tighten up. And let's not forget about the overall team impact. The Lions' win probability in key situations could increase by around 13%, especially in critical third down stops. Their ability to generate pressure without blitzing excessively would also improve, with indirect sacks and blitz-induced pressure seeing increases of around 16-20%. This would help Goff and the offense by giving them more opportunities for quick strikes and red zone efficiency. Speaking of which, their red zone touchdown percentage could go down from 52% to 40%, making scoring more efficient and keeping the pressure on opponents. Now, some fans might be wondering about the risks involved. Trading for a player like James is never without its hurdles. There's always the question of how he'll fit into the team's scheme, whether the Chargers will actually agree to a trade, and if the Lions, cap space and draft capital are enough to make it happen. but the potential rewards are huge. A player like James would give Detroit a true game winner in the secondary, someone who can turn the tide of games with his playmaking ability. It's also a strategic move that could outpace division rivals like the Vikings or Packers, who are always looking to strengthen their defenses. The Chargers, on the other hand, seem to be a bit cautious. They're optimistic about their season, but also aware of their salary cap limitations. They're looking to free up around $14 million by releasing or restructuring some contracts, and trading James could be a smart move to get a solid draft pick, possibly a second-rounder in 2026, and some cap relief. For the Lions, the question is whether they're willing to part with the draft capital and how they see James fitting into their long-term blueprint. But given the way the team has been playing this season, with Jared Goff leading an explosive offense and a defense that's steadily improving, adding a superstar like James could be the final piece to push them over the top. It's also interesting to note that the odds for Detroit to make a deep playoff run could see a significant boost if they land James. Currently, their odds are around plus 750, but with this kind of addition, that could tighten up to plus 400 or better, especially considering the boost in their secondary and overall defensive strength. It's one of those moves that could turn a good team into a legit contender, a team that can match up with anyone in the league and impose their will on both sides of the ball. Of course, this is all speculation for now, based on the latest reports and analysis of team needs and cap situations. We always recommend checking official sources for the latest updates, but if this deal goes through, Lions fans get ready for a serious shakeup. Derwin James in Honolulu Blue? That's the kind of move that gets everyone excited, and it could redefine the Lions' defense for years to come. Imagine a secondary with James, Tracy Walker, and the other young talents stepping up. Opposing quarterbacks would think twice before throwing in Detroit's direction. In the end, whether it's just a rumor or something more concrete, one thing is for sure. This potential trade is a topic that's going to dominate conversations around the league and among Lions fans. It's the kind of bold move that can transform a team's fortunes, and if it happens, it's going to be a win for everyone who loves Detroit football. Now, of course, we'll keep a close eye on how things develop, but for now, let's keep the faith and stay tuned, because the Lions might just be about to make a major splash in the offseason. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think a trade for Derwin James makes sense? Would you love to see him in Honolulu Blue? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. Whether it's big trades, draft prospects, or game analyses, we're here to keep you informed and fired up for another exciting Lions season. Keep the faith, and as always, let's go Lions.